We know that many of you probably have a lot of questions about the new COVID-19 vaccine for younger children. An FDA panel, as we mentioned at the top of the hour, of advisors has approved Pfizer's shot for kids who are between 5 and 11 years old. Joining us now via Zoom is Dr. Sunil Joshi, president of the Duval County Medical Society Foundation. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
So the vaccine, we know, still has a few more hurdles before it's available. Let's try to clear up any confusion that parents might have, if you don't mind. So first, they may hear lower dose. Does that mean that this vaccine is less effective?
No, absolutely not. So remember, kids between the ages of 5 and 11 are a completely different body weight and habitus than an adult who's 65 years of age. And so doses do have to be adjusted appropriately based on that. And so the dose is lower. This is the dose that they have studied in the trial, looking at children between 5 and 11 years, and found all of the benefit from it. So that lower dose, which is about 1/3 the dose that we received as adults, is still very, very effective in this age group.
And it found it was 91%, in fact, effective at preventing symptomatic symptoms. So our numbers have dropped significantly here in our areas. We've been watching, thankfully. Parents may be asking then if they even need to get their kids vaccinated now. What's your response?
Well, yeah, and my response is yes, because, our numbers were also dropping in the late spring, early summer. We saw a significant drop, by the time we got to May and June, and people started to relax, and then we saw what happened with the Delta variant. So no, absolutely, if you were thinking of getting your child vaccinated before, just because the numbers have dropped is not a reason for you to not do it now. Remember that the Delta variant itself was significantly more problematic in children than the original version of the virus, and other variants coming through may be the same. So no, I would not use this as a reason not to get vaccinated.
And we saw that local children died from this vaccine because of the Delta variant. For parents, doctor, who think that their child does not need the vaccine because their son or daughter already caught the virus, how do you address that?
Yeah, and that also is a misnomer. There was a study reported out by the CDC earlier this summer where they looked at people in Kentucky, people who were all infected with COVID-19, and then to see if they would get reinfected. And they saw that folks were 2.34 times more likely to be reinfected with COVID-19 if they were not vaccinated. The folks who were vaccinated were significantly less likely to be reinfected. So just because you've had it before does not mean you're not at risk of a significant outcome through reinfection.
Would you explain this rare heart-related side effect that developed in some teens who were vaccinated?
Now, remember, myocarditis, which is something that we're seeing in children, typically boys between the ages of 15 and 25, was occurring at a rate of about 50 in every 1 million. If you were to develop COVID-19 at that age, your chances of having myocarditis is up to about 400 in every 1 million. So though there was a slight increase in that risk with the vaccine, it's nowhere near the risk that's associated with the virus itself. So once again, the risks of the virus are significantly worse than the risk of the vaccine.
Right, and the risk of developing myocarditis if you get infected and you're not vaccinated, correct?
It's significantly higher. It's about 400 to 500 in 1 million versus the 50 in 1 million with the vaccine.
So I've heard this from parents, and so I want to address it on the air, if you don't mind. There is, this on social media and among parent groups that some believe that this vaccine impacts fertility in children or teenagers. Is that true?
Absolutely false. There's never been a vaccine in the history of the United States that's been associated with infertility. And there's no reason to think that would be the case with these more specific vaccines like these mRNA vaccines. So absolutely falsehood. Not a reason for your child not to be vaccinated.
And what about if a child is vaccinated and they have not yet hit puberty? Will this vaccine in some way delay puberty in young girls and boys?
And once again, no reason for us to feel that the vaccine will have any effect on puberty. It does not affect, the sex hormones in any way. It's perfectly targeted towards a protein that's involved with COVID-19 and not any other part of our reproductive system.
The questions are out there, and we so appreciate the fact that you come and answer them for us. Thank you very much, Dr. Joshi, for your time this morning.
My pleasure. Have a great day.